Thanks for tuning into the For Those Made to Do podcast. We are your hosts, Mandy, Sahota,
and Bianca, Pavel. This podcast is all about the doers who have achieved career success in the UAE and the stories that go with it.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our bonus episode on innovation and future thinking in the UAE. We have our guest, Ghaith Rahman, here today, and we left the main episode on a wildcard question. A bit of a long question, but I'm going to reiterate it again and then we can get straight into it. So, in the Global 50 report, where the government has launched predictions on the next years, there are many predictions such as biohacking 2.0, electromagnetic fields, quantum avatars, waterless farms. There is a list of 40 topics, each more exuberant than the other. So, Guy, if you had the most capable team in the world, a limitless budget, which one of these problems would you start working on tomorrow and what would you do?
You threw me a wild card question. I'll throw you a wild card answer.
Oh, good. We're ready for it.
Let's do this.
Look, I'm a huge fan of space. I grew up watching the show called Cosmos by Carl Sagan and then Neil deGrasse Tyson. And basically what they tried to do is say, look, most people think that exploring space is, wild. Why should you do that?
Out of this world.
Out of this world. Like literally, why would you do that? There's a lot here that needs to be discovered. But what they fail to see is that throughout history, looking up at the stars actually helped us answer a lot of questions,
Yes.
on the ground. So I would definitely be up for exploring space a lot more. Just imagine how much we know about black holes. And if we know more about black holes, it can help answer a lot of questions about time, our perception about time, other dimensions, like the potential possibility of that. Like to me, that's the most exciting thing.
You're going to be the next Star-Lord.
Because look, there's so many like wild theories out there about how that's related to ancient civilizations here on Earth and what that meant, and
they started here in the region as well, right? Like the earliest tracking of the stars and constellations happened like right here. So
So that would be my wild card answer. I definitely love to explore space a bit more because I think it has a lot of great answers for us.
I don't know if this is going to help my reputation in any way, but I am the ultimate nerd and I would watch endless documentaries about space exploration and what's happening there and stars and comets and other planets. So you've been throwing me a bone here because, if you're doing that, I'm going to be watching your work constantly.
You'll join me.
I'll probably be joining you,
join.
just asking you, where are you? What are you doing?
Cosmos is a good start. Like if you start with Cosmos, it's a fantastic way of explaining human history in relation to like the universe. Yeah. And then if you want something a bit more on the movie side, Interstellar is hands down one of the top movies ever made and definitely tackles this topic in a very grounded way, but it's still very fun.
Speaking of that, if I can mention one documentary series, it's on Netflix, so everyone can watch it. It's called Ancient Apocalypse, and it is about that. So there's this journalist who's going on this quest to
Hancock. Hancock.
Yes, know. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? So he's basically going around the world. He's going to Indonesia. He's going to Turkey. He's going to the US. He's going to Mexico, and he basically finds all of these pyramids that have been buried underground. And then he starts examining them, and he realizes that actually they have so much in common, but they're very old, and they're in completely opposite sides of the world. So how is it possible that they were built in a similar fashion? And then he comes up with a lot of theories, and I'm not going to spoil it for everybody, but the answer has a lot to do with how much our ancestors knew about stars and constellations and how they were using that, how they were essentially using space to answer some of those questions, to predict some future events, and to just keep an eye out for themselves, because what was happening in the sky was a big, and weather in general was a big factor in how they were living their lives. So there's a lot of history there, and there are a lot of reasons for which we should be exploring space.
Yeah, definitely.
But just to ask you there, why would you explore space? Is it in the context of let's find out more about what's out there, or for space tourism, or for space colonization? You know, there are so many possibilities. Would you think of it from a scientific perspective or from a commercial perspective?
Honestly, scientific, because let's assume everything else is equal, and then somehow humanity survives for the next 150 to 100 years.
But this takes you full circle, because you started off by saying that you were interested in archaeology.
Yeah. There's a very strong theory that says that if we continue unrestricted, we will consume most of Earth's resources, and we'll have to kind of jump ship or at least go nearby. And there's been examples of where, you know, Elon Musk is saying, let's occupy Mars. There's plenty to do there. There's asteroid fields that have a lot of minerals that we can use. So some ideas are out there. So I wouldn't be more interested in that. I'd be interested in really, if everybody who's made scientific exploration possible through just looking at the stars and not being able to travel. Imagine what you can do if you travel. There's a lot more you can unlock. And we were able to presume what a black hole is and reaffirm our understanding of them just by looking at them from hundreds of thousands of miles away. Imagine if we can get a bit closer and closer and closer, and we were able to go beyond our galaxy, discover new planets. Because the fascinating question is, for anybody who denies or says very assuredly that there's no life outside Earth, you know, the possibility is so huge, because there's so many, like hundreds of thousands of galaxies where an Earth-like planet could exist. How can you deny that there's not going to be life? Some people are open to the idea, which is great, but others are just saying, no, there cannot be any other life out there. It's just not possible. But that's because they haven't seen what the art of the possible is. And I think when you expand people's view that way, you make them believe. And also, there's a humbling part to it. Like when you look at Earth in the context of the universe, you realize how insignificant you are, and how insignificant everything that we do here is in terms of conflict and, you know, what we're doing to each other. So there's also a humbling, and I think humanity needs humbling every now and then. So
yeah, we do. And I think it was last year when the new telescope NASA launched found that incredible picture of over 2,000 new galaxies. Or is it 2 million galaxies? I can't remember the number correctly. But again, I watched a documentary about it. It's on Netflix. But it's just incredible.
Fact. Yeah. Where they had an old picture of a planet, and then when they re-enhanced it, it wasn't there. So they said it either got sucked in by a black hole or something happened to it. Yeah. They're still trying to find the answer.
Yeah, there is so much possibility out there, and we've discovered Planet X, and there's just too much evidence that we have right now in our very, very limited understanding of the universe to confidently say that there isn't life out there on other planets, because from what we know right now, there might as well just be, right? Yeah. Okay, so you're going to embark on this amazing journey with your very qualified team, and you're going to solve this problem once and for all, come back and say, here it is, friends. This is what the universe has to teach us.
All right. Well, on that note, I really liked where this ended, actually. I want to thank you for your time today.
Of course.
It's been
Happy to.
So informative and really cool, actually, to know that where we live is thinking ahead and not backwards. And it's refreshing. And I think for people who are kind of interested in the idea of the UAE, that there is a space for them, especially if they have something to bring to the table. And I think those kind of qualities you shared, I think is going to help them for success. So thank you for sharing that. Also, you will be teaching classes this year.
Yeah.
So we will be seeing you again. And the lucky students in this intake will get to experience.
If they know what to do.
Definitely lucky to experience you in class. So we look forward to seeing you again.
Remember, kids, food.
Oh, yes. Food. Anyone who's going to be in Guy's class, remember to bring snacks.
Chocolate.
Yes, absolutely.
And some for us as well, please.
Yes. Don't forget about us. And we will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guy. This was great.